Welcome back everyone to today's video. We're looking at the weather over the next week. We're not looking too far ahead in today's video because we have got some significant snow on the cards. It is still very uncertain where it's going to be or if it's actually going to happen, but it looks like somewhere in the country is going to see a lot of snow. There's two events, there's Tuesday and Wednesday, and then there's Friday, Saturday as well, and in between that there will be little inversions and snow events around as well. So it looks like we're going to see some pretty significant snow in some parts of the country. Where yet, we are still uncertain, but we are going to try and answer that in this video. We'll show you why we are going colder just now. This is the latest GFS 6Z, just updated, and if you didn't already know, high pressure is the oranges and reds, low pressure is the blues and purple. If you didn't already know, high pressure favours more settled conditions and low pressure favours more unsettled conditions. Anyway, at the minute we've got high pressure starting to push up to Greenland, retrogressing into the North Atlantic. Low pressure starting to drop in over Scandinavia, and we're starting to drag the winds in from a cooler northerly direction. You can probably feel it outside today if you do go outside. We then open the doors to a proper northerly, but before we get the chance to go cold, we get this low pressure system sliding through the country, which is either going to make or break the cold. It could send us milder and bring everywhere rain, but it could also produce a lot of snow as well on the northern edge and the back edge. Then as we continue through that, we tried to go milder off the Atlantic, but high pressure is building over Scandinavia, and it's going to be a bit of a battleground situation. And as we go through the GFS, we do start to try and go colder again. Maybe a sign for something for the winter, something for December. The atmosphere is a bit weird. Something unusual is taking place at the moment. Right, my face is a bit bright, isn't it? It's because of the sun outside. Anyway, let's have a look at some chart data based on that. We're going to have a look at last night's GFS 18Z, or the pub run, whatever you want to call it. So once again, here we go as we go through this week. Not really much happening until around Tuesday. This low pressure system drops south, bringing heavy snow to Scotland. Look at that, increasing the snow northern England and down the Pennines, even to lower levels. Wales as well, even to lower levels, a bit of snow involved. Extremely heavy snow around Scotland, and then we drop that south, and on the back edge some even further south areas could see a bit of snow there. Take a look at that, London getting a little bit there. Then we get to the northerly, some snow showers around the North Midlands, northern England, and over the Welsh Mountains. Once again, some more snow over the Welsh Mountains into Thursday. We then go into Friday and Saturday. We got another area of low pressure trying to push in, and a big snow event starts taking place. Take a look at that. The whole country gets a big transitional snow event, and that'll probably drop 10 centimetres in a lot of areas because of how heavy it'd be. It wouldn't last for too long though before the rain starts pushing that out. It's set from Scotland, where we actually keep the cold in with this latest GFS run, and then we once again try again as more precipitation moves in. So very interesting, and Scotland keep piling the snow up as well. That was the 18th. This is the midnight run. See how this differs. Excuse me. Thank you. It looks like this. So once again, there's that low pressure causing snow. Maybe even a bit further south. There. Take a look at that. A little bit getting further south. Maybe a light covering for some areas is possible. Not out of the question. Then as we go into the weekend, once again, here's that low pressure again. Actually not bringing as much snow, only for Scotland at that point. The mild air must push in a bit quicker. This is the 6Z once again, here we go. In comes that low pressure, once again a bit further south, maybe around Manchester, Stoke-on-Trent area, and the Pennines around Buxton and Leek. Getting some snow, and on the back edge as well, we also bring pretty significant snow, and even further south of that back edge to London, getting some heavier snow. And then as we continue, once again we do get a transitional snow event on Friday and Saturday, which probably will give everywhere a covering really. Obviously it goes up in hours of free, so everywhere will probably get a covering. Anywhere north, Midlands and further north will probably wake up to snow on Saturday morning before it starts to melt from the rain and milder conditions. But it looks like we're going to get some significant snow, but where it is still and how much is uncertain. WX charts. Let's zoom out. ECMWF high res run looks like this. Low pressure comes in. Take a look at that. Manchester area, Stoke-on-Trent, Birmingham, and to the south, even getting a bit of snow with this low pressure system. We go a bit milder sector, and then on the back end, look at that. Some more snow over the northwest Midlands, especially, and around Birmingham. And then some showers start piling in. Before we get into Saturday, we get a transitional snow event only for Scotland, and then we do try to start going a bit milder before we actually get the winds in from the east. Take a look at that. Interesting times ahead. But I don't think this is the big cold spell everyone's waiting for. I think that is going to come in December. UK Met Office looks like this. Not as good with the low, not really delivering that much snow. And then as we go into Friday and Saturday, transitional snow event once again, giving a light cover into parts of the Pennines and places on the edge of the Pennines. I'd say if you're above 200 metres, around 200 or above 200 metres, you probably see a covering before the snow starts to melt with that one. Icon EU looks like this. Low pressure once again comes in. Not really. It does deliver snow for especially northern England, Scotland, and then places as far south as Leek, Buxton, maybe areas of the Staffordshire that are quite high up, and Manchester with a bit of a possibility. Maybe a little bit of sleet and snow mixed in for even parts of the south before that low pressure departs 2 hours south just there. I'm not going to check any of the others because they are not as reliable, but they are all the main models, and that's what we're looking like. Let's have a look at the GFS upper air temperatures. Not upper air temperatures, snow row. For London, London's looking like this. So, you know, if you're in London, you might see some flakes. It's not out of the question. I think you'll see some flakes, as you can see. We've even got one going for 5 centimetres. Check that out. But we have got flakes around, but just not exceptional. A Boyne in Scotland, in the Scottish Highlands, they're going to be getting a lot. They're probably going to get 10 centimetres, 20 centimetres or more from that snow event on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then as well on Friday and Saturday. You know, a lot of snow around for the Scottish Highlands. And Biddulph, which is in the Staffordshire Moorlands, on the edge of the Pennines, about 200 metres up. Once again, some pretty good spikes, around 8 centimetres. And, you know, this is some big spikes, averaging around a centimetre or a bit below. But it does look like if you're in Biddulph, you're going to get a bit of snow as well. But it's, once again, in the mix. Let's have a look. What should we have a look at? I'll have a quick look at the charts again. So let's zoom in. And 2 metre temp. Rich. Right, so let's go to the snow event on Tuesday. So this is the only problem. As you can see, we are pretty warm from the models. I mean, actually, you know, Wednesday midnight, we're actually pretty cold, if I'm being honest. And there's that low pressure. I mean, that's delivering snow in my eyes. Temperatures around 2 degrees, 1 degrees even. I can't see that not delivering snow. As we continue into Wednesday morning, temperatures do pick up a little bit, around to 4 degrees. Then we go colder once again, heavy frost there for the whole of the country, -10 up in the Scottish Highlands. And this is the transitional event. Well, what we're trying to do, a transitional event just here. So there's that. That's where the snow's gonna happen. And once again, it's pretty cold, isn't it? Over. So that's where it moves in. And to be honest, it's pretty cold over some areas. There is big differences, but it is pretty cold. I mean, if we go, where does it move in? About there. So yeah, it's moving into parts of the North Midlands, Wales, and even the southwest around 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And I mean, it's still pretty cold. I mean, especially in the North Midlands, we're still around 2 or 1 degrees. So, you know, there's a chance of some significant snow on Saturday morning before we do start going a lot milder. But that is not certain yet. We still could see a reversal of that if you do take it the GFS. We are actually trying to keep the cold spell in for longer now, but we're having loads of wobbles. The AIFS I don't think is green. Well, it is to a certain extent. But you know, it's all over the place. The models are at the minute. Don't take anything you see from these ensembles into sort of thingy at the minute, because I don't see much of them very fine, really. And them low pressures, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a centimetre or two even around Birmingham on that back of that low pressure. I think there's going to be more precipitation attached to that than we are expecting. But that's all I've got for you today. We might have another update later. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.